Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Mayang magiliw, pero sa silanganan, hanap ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, duyot ka ng magiting, sa manlulupi, di ka pasisihin. Sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mang baga, may nilagang tula at angit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang kiskat ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagdidinig. Ang bituin na araw na kailan pa may di magdidinig. Lupa na araw na walhati pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya na pag may mag-aapi, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Panalangin. Amang lumikha, taos-puso kaming nagpapasalamat sa buhay na iyong ipinagkaloob sa amin. Salamat sa lahat ng taong iyong ipinadala magmula sa aming pamilya, kaibigan, katrabaho sa sangayon ng kagawaran ng edukasyon na matapat na naglilingkod sa bansa at sa iyo. Salamat sa lahat ng mga biyayang nagbibigay sigla at lakas sa amin sa kabila ng kasalukuyang pandemya na ating nararanasan. Hindi ito hadlang upang kami maging instrumento ng karunungan sa mga kabataan. Patnubayan niyo kami mga guro upang magampanan namin ang aming mga responsibilidad at tungkulong nakaayon sa aming balikan. Bigyan niyo kami ng kalakasan, katalinuhan at kapasyahan upang maitaguyod ang pagsubok ng buhay sa ngalan ng inyong buktong na anak na siyang tumubos ng aming kasalanan. Amen.
Mamuhay lungsod ng Pasay, Perlas ng kamay nilaan, halagay tawaran sa lahat ng larangan. Mamuhay lungsod ng Pasay, lumawan ng sandaigdigan, galing naman tanggap ang tunaya na manayan. Pasay mahal kong bayan, sa puso nag-iisa. Pasay dakilang bayan, Pasay nabuhay ka. Sumakay magkatulong, pagkakasama ng tao, kasiyahan ng magmahal, pinakasayan mo. Pasay mahal kong bayan, sa puso nag-iisa. Pasay dakilang bayan, Pasay nabuhay ka. Pasay mahal kong bayan, sa puso nag-iisa. Pasay dakilang bayan, Pasay nabuhay ka. Tara na okay, Oplan kalusugan sa DepEd. Halina't alamin atin ang tuklasin, mga health programs ating palaganapin. Tara na okay, Oplan kalusugan sa DepEd. Halina't alamin atin ang tuklasin, mga health programs ating palaganapin. School-based feeding program ating pagtibayin. Wastong pagkain ating ihahain, mga batang kulang sa timbang. Ating pakakainin ng Go, Grow, and Glow. Adolescent Reproductive Health ay gawing gabay at patnubay ng batang mausisa ay di maranasan. Ang early pregnancy ay maiiwasan. Kalusugan ay mahalaga sa edukasyon ng mga bata. Tayo na't magkaisa, halina tayo sumama. Tara na okay, Oplan kalusugan sa DepEd. Halina't alamin atin ang tuklasin, mga health programs ating palaganapin. Tara na okay, Oplan kalusugan sa DepEd. Halina't alamin atin ang tuklasin, mga health programs ating palaganapin. National Drug Education Program or NDE kung tawagin. Ito'y paigtingin mga bisyo'y alisin. Sigarilyo at droga'y dapat nang puksain. Water sanitation and hygiene in schools ating kompletuhin, 3 stars ay abutin. Malinis na tubig, segregated na toilet, group hand washing at may napkin na rin. Kalusugan ay mahalaga sa edukasyon ng mga bata. Tayo na't magkaisa, halina tayo sumama. Tara na okay, Oplan kalusugan sa DepEd. Halina't alamin atin ang tuklasin, mga health programs ating palaganapin. Tara na okay, Oplan kalusugan sa DepEd. Halina't alamin atin ang tuklasin, mga health programs ating palaganapin. Medical, dental, and nursing services na atin ding binibigay upang matugunan problemang pangkalusugan ng mga guro at kabataan. Kalusugan ay mahalaga sa edukasyon ng mga bata. Tayo na't magkaisa, halina tayo sumama. Tara na okay, Oplan kalusugan sa DepEd. Halina't alamin atin ang tuklasin, mga health programs ating palaganapin. Tara na okay, Oplan kalusugan sa DepEd. Halina't alamin atin ang tuklasin, mga health programs ating palaganapin. Tara na okay, Oplan kalusugan sa DepEd. Halina't alamin atin ang tuklasin, mga health programs ating palaganapin. Okay talaga sa DepEd. Okay talaga sa DepEd. Tara na okay, Oplan kalusugan sa DepEd. Halina't alamin atin ang tuklasin, mga health programs ating palaganapin. Tara na okay, Oplan kalusugan sa DepEd. Halina't alamin atin ang tuklasin, mga health programs ating palaganapin. Tara na okay, Oplan kalusugan sa DepEd. Halina't alamin atin ang tuklasin, mga health programs ating palaganapin. Okay talaga sa DepEd. Okay talaga sa DepEd.
A warm afternoon to everyone, and welcome to the day 2 of the webinars of the Adolescent Reproductive Health webinar series. I hope you're okay and safe, sound sa kanya-kanyang bahay o workplace. We had a very fruitful discussion of the ARH topics yesterday. We certainly had the best speakers and skillful ARH focal persons sa bawat schools na meron po tayo sa Pasay. And to give us a preview of yesterday's discussion, we have one of the nicest, kindest, and beautiful nurse of SDO Pasay from P. Villanueva Elementary School, School Division, ARH Focal Person, Elementary Level. Let us welcome Miss Nurse Michelle Yutero San Pedro.
Good afternoon, our dear teachers, students, and parents. Welcome back to the second day of the Adolescent Reproductive Health webinar series. This is Nurse Michelle San Pedro from P. Villanueva Elementary School and your ARH Focal Person Elementary level. And I am here to give you the recap of yesterday's activities. We had the aspiring talents from Pasay City West High School, Dwight Shervo, and Aubrey Faye Galero of Pasay City East High School, our brilliant host for yesterday's event. Indeed, there's a bright future in hosting for these two, and surely they made their school so proud. As introduction, we had a brief definition of what ARH is all about, then followed by the audiovisual presentation of OK sa DepEd and ARH activities during the pre-pandemic time. Dr. Arturo A. Tolentino, our Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, had given his warm message and followed by the inspirational message of our Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Loretta B. Torrecampo. Meanwhile, Nurse Giselle Ann Amin, our secondary ARH focal person, had elaborated the rationale of the ARH series. ARH basically is a sub-program under the DOH Children's Health Cluster. The program specifically created to ensure that all adolescents have access to comprehensive healthcare and services in an adolescent-friendly environment. The objective is to improve the health status of the adolescent and enable them to fully enjoy their rights of health and to focus on the emerging issues of the said age. And just to reiterate, the program also aims to strengthen DepEd's delivery of its mandate under the Responsible Parenthood and Reproductive Health Act of 2012, also known as the RA number 10354, and that is to have an appropriate reproductive health education and to have a supportive school environment for them. Moving on, the first speaker that we had yesterday is our legal officer of the division, Attorney Jean Litusken, who tackled comprehensive sexuality education. Conservatively, Attorney Jean deliberated well the CSE topic, focused on how our mindset should perceive the topic openly. And as nowadays, these things should be agreeably discussed. Of course, she keenly discussed the legal basis of RA 10354, the Executive Order Number 12 of Series of 2017, wherein DepEd shall implement a gender-sensitive and rights-based comprehensive sexuality education in the curriculum. Hence, the creation of policy guidelines on the implementation of the CSE under DepEd Order Number 31, Series of 2018. She also relayed the importance of sex education to be stressed amid the reports of rising teenage pregnancies. Goals and aims of CSE were also conversed by our attorney, and we echo that DepEd is committed to provide and protect the right of Filipino learners to good education, that it also recognizes the roles and responsibilities of the school system and aims to reduce risks related to poor health outcomes and, of course, to promote gender equality and empowerment. A short film regarding human immunodeficiency virus or HIV/AIDS was played as well. Another vivid speaker that we had yesterday was Mr. Corredo D. Revilleza from the Philippine Air Force Civilian Human Resource Department, who shared with us the effects of the substance abuse. His lecture was about the reasons why people turn to drugs, the general classification of drugs, also the infamous Republic Act 9165 or the Dangerous Drugs Act of 2002, Republic Act 9344, also known as the Juvenile Justice and Welfare Act of 2006, stating the minimum age of criminal responsibility. He also made clear why we should avoid dangerous drugs and the ways not to have them. The much awaited announcement of the selected video infographics has been done as well, wherein entries from Once Mulong Elementary School, PIPA-S Elementary School, Philippine School for the Deaf, Kalayaan National High School, and Pasay City West High School were selected as best infographics in their respective topics. As per the finale, Dr. Maria Rizal Enriquez Reyes had given us the closing remarks with the plea that we, with our signed oath, should help in developing and improving adolescents' abilities to have informed choices about their own reproductive health. Alright, so that's a wrap for the first day of the Adolescent Reproductive Health webinar series. Once again, welcome to our day 2 of the ARH series. Keep learning!
Thank you, Nurse Mitch, for the very thorough summary of yesterday's activity. And I'm sure lahat naman nakapanood ng ating episode kahapon ay na-picture out na or na-gets na, sabi nga ng mga bata, ang mga significant concept for the adolescents. And of course, we would like to recognize as well the efforts of the school's ARH focal persons who participated in our infographics video making contest. They will be given a certificate of appreciation, and the selected videos or winners will be given a certificate of recognition and designated prizes. Muli po, maraming salamat po and congratulations. And now, at this juncture, I will introduce to you our first speaker for today. She is a guidance counselor of Liliu National High School. She's a top-notcher, fourth place as a registered guidance counselor and registered psychometrician, and ninth placer po siya. Hindi po biro yon. And she is a fourth placer as guidance counselor. And sukoy na po ito ng mga seminars po ng Liliu National High School. And she is she graduated at the Lyceum of the Philippines University, Batangas City. Let us give her a virtual round of applause for Miss Maris Borgoñez Pales.
A pleasant and safe day, everyone. So I'm Miss Marise P. Borgoñez Pales, and I'm here to discuss with you about the protection against gender-based violence from Save the Children. So bakit mahalaga ba na malaman nyo, no? Ano-ano yung iba't ibang uri ng gender-based violence at paano mo mapoprotektahan ang sarili mo at paano ka mapoprotektahan ng ibang tao laban dito. So this material is from Miss Wilma T. Banyaga, a child protection advisor. Okay. So, who is Save the Children? Sino ba kami? No? Save the Children is a non-government organization that has been in existence globally for 101 years and working in more than 120 countries. Okay? Napakaraming bansa ang natutulungan ng Save the Children. No? We have been working in the Philippines since 1981. Hindi pa ako pinapanganak. Tumutulong na ang Save the Children sa mga Pilipino. No? And Save the Children believes that every child deserves a future in the Philippines and around the world. We give children a healthy start in life, the opportunity to learn and be protected from harm. We do whatever it takes for children every day and in times of crisis. No? Sa panahon ng pandemya, sa panahon ng kaguluhan na andyan ang Save the Children. And Save the Children is here to transform the lives and future of the children. Kasi ang unang inaalagaan ng Save the Children ay ang mga kabataan at ang mga karapatan at kinabukasan ng mga kabataang kagaya ninyo. Okay. We have conducted a Mentimeter, no, para siyang survey, no, sa mga participants before. At nung tinanong ano ang inyong mga karapatan bilang mga kabataan, karamihan ng sumagot is karapatang makapag-aral, no, the right for education, karapatang makapag-aral, magkaroon ng maganda, no, maayos, no, dekalidad na pag-aaral, and that's right. Every single child in the world, hindi lang sa Pilipinas, has the right to be educated, no? Yan ay tungkulin ng lahat ng tao sa lahat ng kabataan. Aside from education, no, makakain, karapatan ng mga batang makakain, mabuhay actually, no, lahat ng mga pangangailangan ng isang bata upang mabuhay ay kailangang ibigay sa isang bata because that is your right, no? Pagkain, malinis na tubig, no? Ligtas na tirahan, no? Ligtas na tahanan, okay? That is your right. Karapatan din ng mga bata ang may enjoy ang kanilang kabataan, no? Makapaglaro, no? Isa sa karapatan nila ay ang karapatan laban sa child labor, no? We are condemning child labor na hindi naaayon sa batas, no? Kasi pinipigilan at sinusugpo ang karapatan ng isang kabataan na may enjoy yung kanyang buhay because of child labor, no? At isa sa mga kasi lahat halos ang umiikot dito is karapatang makapag-aral, no, the right for development, and that's true, no? At isa sa mga critical at kailangan nating ipaalam sa inyo, no, we need to inform you is that you have the right to be protected, no? You have the right for protection, no? Ano ba itong right for protection? Okay. Each child, no, in the world, no, pero tutukan natin ang Pilipinas, no? Each child has the right to live without any kind of violence, no? Ang bawat isang bata, no, ay mayroong karapatang mabuhay na hindi nakakaranas, hindi nakakakita o hindi nadadampian ng kahit na anong uri ng karahasan. Okay? And side by side, no, kung kayo ay may karapatan and laban sa karahasan, may responsibilidad naman kayo, no? Pag sinabi responsibilidad, tungkulin din ninyo na siguraduhin na hindi rin kayo mananakit ng iba, no? Ang bawat karapatan ay may tungkulin. Kung karapatan yung mag-aral, tungkulin naman ninyo na mag-aral na mabuti. Kung karapatan ninyo na hindi makaranas ng karahasan, tungkulin naman ninyo na hindi maging marahas, bayolente o manakit ng iba, no? Ganun siya, no? It's a two-way mirror, and that is the beauty of responsibilities and duties. Okay? Ano ba yung right to protection? Okay. It states that parties shall take all appropriate legislative, administrative, social, and educational measures to protect the child from all, no, lahat, from all forms of physical or mental violence, injury or abuse, neglect or negligent treatment, maltreatment or exploitation, including sexual abuse, while in the care of parents, legal guardians, or any other person who has the care of the child. It is by United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child, no? According to UNCRC, no, sa United Nations, na pag-usapan doon, no, na ang isang bansa ay kailangang gumawa ng tamang aksyon, be it sa paggawa ng batas para mapangalagaan ang mga kabataan, pagpapatupad ng batas, no, educational or social measures, no, na masisigurado na poprotektahan ang lahat ng bata, no, lahat ng kabataan 18 and below, no, 18 years old and below, laban sa anumang uri ng pisikal na pananakit, no? Isipin niyo ano ba yung mga iba't ibang uri ng pisikal na pananakit. Mental na pananakit, no? Yung mga salitang hindi maganda na binibitawan sa isang bata, no? Yung pagpaparamdam sa bata na hindi siya mahalaga or hindi siya mahal, ayun, those are mental violence, no? O kulang siya, hindi sapat yung bata, no? O anumang uri ng injury, no? O pang-aabuso, bawal din yon, no? Neglect, we have this economic neglect, sa economic neglect, pinapabayaan mo yung batang hindi kumakain, hindi mo binibigyan yung bata ng mga economic needs niya, kagaya ng pera para makapag-aral, para mapunan yung mga physical and psychological needs niya. Yun yung neglect or negligent treatment, no? Binabaliwala mo yung isang bata at hindi mo pinapahalagan yung pangangailangan niya. Maltreatment, no? Isa sa concerns din ng gobyerno, in all aspect of the government, no, ay yung pagmamaltrato. Hindi dapat konsintihin ang pagmamaltrato sa bata or exploitation, kagaya ng child labor, okay? Including sexual abuse, no? Ng kahit na sinong magulang o tagapangalaga o yung taong nag-aalaga dun sa bata, no? Each child must be protected from any kind of abuse, be it sexual abuse, okay? So, gender-based violence, no? Tutukan natin yung gender-based violence. Okay? It's under abuse kasi, no? Gender-based violence is any act that is perpetrated against a person's will that is based on gender norms and unequal power relationships. So, when we say gender-based violence, ito yung gawain, ito yung bagay na ginagawa mo laban, no? O ginagawa ng isang perpetrator o ng aabuso laban sa isang tao, no? Na labag sa kanyang kagustuhan, no? Yung biktima ay ginagawa ng hindi maganda ng labag sa kanyang kagustuhan, no? Labag din sa normal na gawain ng bawat kasarian or nagpapakita ng hindi pantay na kapangyarihan sa isang relasyon. Example, binubugbog ng lalaki ang kanyang asawa. Okay? Another, yung tatay, no, ay hinihipuan ng kanyang anak, no? Those are examples of gender-based violence, no? And gender-based violence encompasses threats of violence and coercion, no? Saklaw ng gender-based violence yung pananakot, no? Na ikaw ay sasaktan, no? Kapag hindi mo yang ginawa, papatayin kita. Kapag hindi mo sinunod ang sinasabi ko, I'm going to hurt you. Okay? Or kapag hindi ka sumunod sa akin, pag hindi ka pumayag, bubugbugin ko ang nanay mo. Or pamumuwersa. No? When we say coercion, pinupuwersa ka na gawin yung bagay na ayaw mo. No? Yun yung mga gender-based violence. No? And gender-based violence can be physical. Physical na pananakit, physical na pagmamaltrato, physical na pang-aabuso. No? Emotional, pwede rin siyang emotional. Sasabihan ka halimbawa, no, ng mga bagay na nakakapanakit ng damdamin or hindi ka pinapansin, no, ayaw mo lang gawin yung pinapagawa sa'yo at labag sa iyong kagustuhan yung pinapagawa sa'yo or labag sa pagiging babae o lalaki mo, tapos hindi ka papansinin, hindi ka pakakainin, ganon, no? Or psychological, like sasabihan ka ng hindi maganda, sasabihan ka ng mga bagay na nakakapanakit, no? Or sexual in nature, no? Pwedeng ang form ng gender-based violence ay pagtanggi, no? Tinatanggi yung mga resources na dapat ibigay sa'yo. Like, hindi ka pinapakain, hindi ka pinapapasok sa school, o kaya man ay pinagbabawalan kang lumabas, no? Nang walang dahilan, no? O kaya man ay kinukulong ka, okay? So, gender-based violence is a broad spectrum of violence na ang unang-unang tinatarget, no, is hindi pantay yung kapangyarihan ng relasyon, no, ng babae at ng lalaki, no. It inflicts harm on women, girls, babae, batang babae, men, o boys, o batang lalaki. Kasi ang notion natin, pag sinabing gender-based violence, babae lang ang inaabuso, no. All genders, lahat ng kasarian, no, be it LGBTQ, may be afflicted and inflicted with gender-based violence, no. Hindi namimili ng kasarian ang gender-based violence. Tandaan nyo siya, no. Kung nakakaranas kayo ng pananakit, no, ng gender-based violence, be it you're a man or a boy, babae man kayo, or member ng LGBTQ, no, please huwag mag-atubili, no, raise that concern, no. Walang pinipiling kasarian ang pananakit, no, ang karahasan. It owns gender-based violence also includes but not, no, it is not limited to violence against women and girls, no. Isa lamang sa sakop ng gender-based violence ay ang karahasan laban sa mga babae at batang babae. Pero hindi ibig sabihin na babae lang ang nakakaranas ng gender-based violence, ano. Child abuse, intimate partner violence, no, ay mga uri ng gender-based violence. Inaabuso yung bata sa murang edad, yung asawa o yung girlfriend o yung partner, no, ay nakakaranas ng pananakit, physical, psychological, no, sexual, o yung isang taong kakikilala lang, no, halimbawa ako, kakikilala ko lang dito sa taong to, ay minamaltrato ko na siya, o kaya man ay hinaharas ko na siya verbally, no, yun. Yun yung isang example din ng gender-based violence. And date rape, no. There are many cases of date rapes. Makikipag-date lang or makikipag-eyeball pa lang, no, first meet up pa lang, and then one of the parties ay marirape, no. Gender-based violence pa rin yun. Honor killings, no, papatayin mo because of the so-called honor, no, or femicide, pinapatay ang mga babae. It happened in India, kung saan, though it is still an issue at present, no, na sa India, kapag nalaman na babae, yung nasa sinapupunan ng nanay, there are some people na pinapa-abort yung bata kasi ayaw nila ng anak na babae, no, sa femicide, no, gender-based violence pa rin yun. Hindi mo binibigyan ng karapatang mabuhay ang isang babae, no. Child marriage, ang isang may edad na, no, ay ipapakasal sa isang bata pa, no. It's against the law. And human trafficking, no, ibebenta yung mga babae, mga lalaki to make money, no. They are all examples of gender-based violence. Men and boys are also victims of gender-based violence, as I mentioned earlier, no. A common example occurs in cultures where homosexuality is seen as departing from accepted and expected male behavior. Men who have sex with men may experience violence from discrimination, no? Dinidiscriminate sila, verbal abuse, or physical abuse. Karagdagan pa, no? Karagdagan pa dito ay may mga bata na may disability o yung mga members ng LGBTQ na nakakaranas ng gender-based violence. So, there was a recent event or recent news na yung isang member ng LGBTQ ay sinipa, no, if I'm not mistaken, sinipa, na videohan siya, sinipa ng mga grupo ng kabataang lalaki. No? That's gender-based violence. Okay? Pedophile is an example of gender-based violence. No? Our source is www.youthpower.org. Okay. Now, what is child abuse? No? Child abuse is a deliberate, sinasadya, no? Sinasadya, pinag-isipan, no? It's a deliberate act of ill treatment that can harm or is likely to cause harm to a child's safety, well-being, and dignity and development, no? Pag sinabing child abuse, no, sinasadya mo, pinag-iisipan mo at ginugusto mo na itrato yung bata nang hindi maganda, inaabuso mo yung bata at nasaktan siya, no? Nakakaranas yung bata ng karahasan sa kanyang safety, well-being, buong pagkatao niya, dignidad, at development, no? So, maraming bata ang nakakaranas ng child abuse. May mga bata na binubugbog ng magulang, binubugbog ng guardian or caregiver, child abuse. May mga bata na nakakaranas na ikulong, no? Out of nothing, walang ginagawang masama yung bata, kinukulong na lang basta ng magulang o ng primary caregiver, no? Child abuse po 'yon, no? It includes all form of physical, sexual, psychological or emotional ill treatment, no? Maaaring physical ang pang-aabuso, pambubugbog, panununtok, pananakit sa bata, sexual, no? May kinalaman sa paghawak or paggalaw sa pribadong parte ng katawan, okay? Or pagkasabi ng mga sexually offending things dun sa isang bata, or hinaharas sexually yung bata, maybe psychological, hindi mo pinapakain, hindi mo binibigyan ng kanyang mga pangangailangan, no? Ng mga pangunahin o pangalawang pangangailangan ng bata, psychological 'yon, no? Hindi mo pinag-aaral ang bata, hindi mo pinaglalaro ang bata, nakakulong lang sa bahay, or yung bata ay inexpose mo sa child labor na hindi aprobado ng DSWD, no? Ayan, or emotional ill treatment, like sinasabihan mo na hindi maganda yung bata, minumura-mura mo. Those are examples of child abuse, no? Examples: physical, emotional, psychological, and sexual abuse. Okay. Now, what is a sexual abuse, no? Ang sexual abuse ay isang uri ng paghawak, no, pagdikit ng katawan o ugali, gawain na nagpaparamdam sa isang bata o sa mga bata ng uncomfortability, no? Uncomfortable yung bata, like, or pakiramdam, hindi natutuwa at hindi secured yung pakiramdam ng bata, no? That is a form of sexual abuse, no? Any kind of touch, no? Be it paghawak, be it pagdikit ng katawan o gawain o salita na sinasabi mo o pinapakita mo sa bata na hindi siya komportable at nakakasama sa kanya, no? What are the examples of sexual abuse? First, no, paghawak sa pribadong parte ng katawan ng isang bata, no? These are the parts of the body which we do not normally show to other people. Yun yung mga bagay na mga parte rather ng katawan ninyo, natin, na itinatago natin because it's private, no? Dibdib, likod, uwet, ay yung ating mga ari, no? Yun yung mga parte na kapag hinawakan ng iba, no, ay hindi tayo komportable, hindi maganda sa pakiramdam, masakit sa pakiramdam, no? Sexual abuse yun pag ginawa sa inyo, no? Or making a child touch his or her private parts or someone else's private parts. Sexual abuse rin kapag yung bata ay sinasabihan mo, pinipilit mo, o ginugroom mo para hawakan yung kanyang pribadong parte o yung pribadong parte ng katawan ng ibang tao. Sexual abuse yon. Or yung pakipagtalik sa isang bata, no? Yung pinipilit mo yung bata na makipagtalik sa'yo, o kahit hindi mo pinilit, basta bata yan, that is sexual abuse. Okay? Showing a child, no? Minumulat mo yung bata sa mga sensitibong o sensual na mga bagay, kagaya ng pinapakita mo sa bata, yung mga magazine, yung mga film, yung mga video, yung mga scripts na nagpapakita ng mga picture, litrato, larawan o video ng mga taong kakaunti ang saplot o walang saplot o mayroong sensitibong content, yung video or magazine. Child sexual abuse din po yun. No? Tandaan nyo siya. Kung siya ay nararanasan nyo o kung siya ay ginagawa sa inyo, then you are experiencing child sexual abuse. Humingi ng tulong. No? Kapag sinasabihan ng isang bata ng mga dirty stories, yung mga bastos, yung mga sensitibong storya o dirty jokes, those are examples of child sexual abuse. Okay. Next. What is neglect? Okay? Neglect is deliberately or through carelessness or negligence. No? Pwedeng sinadya mo o nakalimutan mo lang, hindi mo naalala, no, na you fail to provide or secure for a child their rights to physical safety and development, no. Hindi mo na ibigay yung mga pangangailangan ng isang bata, okay, for physical safety and development. Hindi mo na pakain, nakalimutan mong pakainin yung bata or ikaw, no, ikaw yung anak, nakalimutan kang pakainin for the entire day, hindi sinasadya, neglect yun. O kaya man ay hindi ka muna pinapasok ngayong buong taon, kahit sa public, no? Kahit sa atin sa DepEd, hindi kayo pinapasok kasi walang pera, deliberate yon. Kasi libre naman ang pag-aaral sa DepEd, no? Or ikaw ay nakaranas na hindi pinalabas ng bahay, nakalimutan ka, nakakulong ka sa bahay, habang katrabaho ang magulang mo, solo ka doon, that's neglect, no? It is sometimes called the passive form of abuse. Passive kasi either hindi sinasadya, hindi ka naman ginagawa, hindi ka talaga sinasaktan physically or emotionally, pero kinakalimutan yung pangangailangan mo, no? Kaya siya tinatawag na passive, no? Kasi it relates to the failure, no? May failure na magampanan yung mga key aspect ng pangangalaga at pagpoprotekta sa inyo. And it results in significant impairment of the child's health and development, including a failure to thrive emotionally and socially. No? Examples of neglect, hindi ka binibigyan ng tamang pagkain, no? Hindi ka pinapakain or kulang ang pagkain, or ang pagkain mo ay hindi pagkain na pang tao or pang bata. No? Or leaving a child alone for a long time. No? May mga nakikita tayong balita na 2 buwan na yung magkapatid na nakalak sa bahay, no? Nag-iiyak na, may bed sore na yung baby kasi sugat-sugat na yung puwet, wala nang makakain yung magkapatid, no? Examples of neglect yun, ano? Pwedeng kasuhan ng magulang doon. Or not speaking with the child or answering his or her questions, yun, neglect, pinapabayaan ka. Kinakausap ka ng anak mo or kinakausap nyo yung magulang nyo tapos hindi kayo sinasagot, or meron kayong kailangan, hindi kayo iniintindi, that is a form and example of neglect. Another, no, exploitation. No? It refers to the use of children for someone else's advantage. No? Nagtitake advantage sa bata. No? Either pinagtatrabaho ka para sila yung magkapera, no? Like, may mga cases tayo, no, na yung mga bata ang namamalimos, no? And then yung profit ng pamamalimos bibigay sa magulang. That's exploitation, no? O kaya man ine-exploit mo yung bata para ikaw ay mag-gratify, para mas satisfy yung mga pangangailangan mo, or para ikaw yung kumita ng kumita, no? And it often result in unjust, hindi patas, cruel, mapanakit, no? And harmful treatment of the child, no? Kahit subtle yung pananakit mo, pag in-exploit mo yung bata, pinagtatrabaho mo, pero dinedeprive mo yung bata sa karapatan niya na makapag laro, karapatan niya na magkaroon ng matiwasay na buhay, no? In-expose din ang mga batang kagaya nyo sa iba't ibang uri ng threat and danger kapag nasa labas. Exploitation yun. No? These activities are to the detriment of the child's physical or mental health, education, moral, or socio-emotional development. And the two main forms of exploitation are sexual exploitation and economic exploitation. Sexual exploitation is ina-exploit mo yung bata, like may mga bata na i-expose sa online sex, no? Or may mga bata na at an early age ay binibigyan na ng trabaho, no? And responsibilidad nila yung buong pamilya. Yon. Those are examples of exploitation. No, now, let's focus on sexual exploitation. This is the abuse of a position of vulnerability, no? Dahil ang mga bata ay vulnerable, no? Karamihan sa mga kabataan 18 and below ay wala pa sa wastong kaisipan, wala pa sa wastong edad. So vulnerable sila, mabilis mahikayat, mabilis mapilit, mabilis matakot, differential power, no? Syempre takot ka sa mas matanda sa iyo or sa magulang mo or sa ibang taong mas may kapangyarihan, ano? Or trust for sexual purposes, no? Ina-exploit yung tiwala. May mga bata, no, na i-groom lang ng perpetrator. Pag sabi perpetrator, siya yung gumagawa ng hindi maganda, no? May mga batang i-groom, bibigyan ng candy, bibigyan ng pera para maabuso sexually, no? This includes profiting monetarily, no? Socially, or politically, ginagamit ang bata sa mga political ads, yan, hindi siya tama. From the exploitation of another as well as personal sexual gratification. Examples are child prostitution, no? Ibinebenta ang bata para mag-engage sa sex. No, ayan, prostitution yon. Trafficking of children for sexual abuse and exploitation, no? Inaabuso sexually ang bata or ina-exploit, no? Child pornography, no? Binivideohan, nire-record, no? Yon. Sexual slavery, no? Ginagawang aliping sexual ang bata, no? Ginagawa siyang parang nakakulong sa bahay para matugunan, magampanan, masatisfy yung sexual needs nung caregiver o nung magulang or nung kung sino mang gumagawa noon or ng perpetrator. Okay, now what's economic exploitation? Focus naman tayo sa economic exploitation. When we say economic exploitation, this is the use of the child, no? Ginagamit mo ang bata sa trabaho or other activities for the benefit of others, no? Nagkatrabaho mo yung bata at ang pagkakakitaan para sa magulang, para sa ibang tao, no? This or ibinebenta mo yung bata, sige, iyon na, gawin yung katulong yan. Tapos akin na sweldo, gano'n, no? This includes and is not limited to labor of the child, no? Child labor. It implies the idea of a certain gain or profit through the distribution and consumption of goods and services, no? Examples ay child domestic work, may katrabaho sa bahay, no, ng may bahay, no? Child soldiers, may mga bansa, may mga political parties na bata pa lang, no, below 18, tapos tuturuan na nilang gumamit ng barel. Yun yung pasasabakin sa giyera, no? And the recruitment and involvement of children in armed conflict, no? Magre-recruit ka ng mga kabataan, like i-recruit mo sila para pumunta sa bundok and then doon tuturuan ng pagre-rebelde, no? Example yun ng economic exploitation, no? Child bondage, like may utang ako yung magulang, no? May utang ako sa kumare ko. Para mabayaran ko yung utang ko, no, ng uti-uti, ipapasok ko yung anak ko na kasambahay, no, nung aking kaibigan, gano'n, no? That's child bondage, no? Alipin ng ibang tao yung bata. The use of children from criminal activities, no? Like yung bata, yung pagnanakawin mo kasi maawa yung ibang tao sa bata. So makakapagnakaw sila without or makapagnakaw or iba pang crime ang iko-commit ng bata, no? Through you, no? Ikaw yung magtuturo, ikaw yung magko-command sa bata, no? Including the sale and distribution of narcotics, no? Bata ang ginagamit pagbebenta ng drugs, no? Or involvement ng bata sa mga harmful or hazardous work, pagnanakaw, baril, no? Pagbaril, pangingidnap, no? Ganon. Negative health consequences of gender-based violence. Ano ba yung mga negative consequences ng gender-based violence? Una, no? It can have a severe negative health consequences for those who experience it. Yes, actually hindi lang physical health, no? Pati mental health, no? Naapektuhan ng kanilang well-being, no? Ang well-being ng mga bata na nakakaranas ng karahasan, no? Maaring included dito yung immediate physical consequences of violent act, no? But it can also include long-term mental health consequences. No, pag sinabi natin short-term physical consequences, binugbog ka, pasa-pasa ka, pinaso ng sigarilyo, yung private part, or ihinampas ka, sa sobrang galit, ihinampas ka, o kaya man ay binatukan ka, those are physical consequences of violent act. Pero pag sinabing long-term effect, no, minura ka, or ikaw ay minamaltrato, o ikaw ay sinasabihan na hindi maganda, yun, matagalan yun, no? Or ikaw ay in-expose sa isang bagay na dapat hindi ka pa ma-expose. Long-term effect yun. Like, sexual exposure, no? Pinapanood yung isang bata ng isang pornographic material, no? Ang epekto niyan pang matagalan, no? Ang effect sa bata, negative consequences sa bata matagal, no? Other examples of the effects of gender-based violence include unintended pregnancies, no? You have cases na as early as 9 years old, nabubuntis na because of being raped, no? HIV, no? Yung mga bata, because they were exposed and they were forced to engage in sex or sexual activities, nagkaroon sila ng sakit, no? HIV, AIDS, and other sexually transmitted infections, no? And even there are children nakakaranas ng gender-based violence na sadyosay namamatay, no? And that's what we are sad about, and that's what we are trying to prevent, no? Lahat ng ito, no? Yung mga negative effects. And actually, we are trying to prevent gender-based violence through informing you, no? The Philippine government's National Baseline Study on Violence Against Children, no? In terms of physical violence are, physical violence is the most common, pinakapangkaraniwang form. Pangkaraniwan pero hindi tama, no? Walang tamang violence. Tandaan niyo yan, ha? Ito lang yung pinakakaraniwang nababalita, pinaka-nare-report na form of violence against children in the Philippines. And corporal punishment, pagpaparusa, no? May nagawa yung bata, paparusahan, is the most common form of physical punishment, no? There are 3, no? May 3 sa 5 bata ang nakakaranas ng physical violence at home, no? Kung may 5 bata kayong kaharap, no? 3 dyan nakakaranas and na masaktan sa loob ng bahay. Hinapalo, kinukurot, no? Those are forms of physical violence, no? 1 in every 5 children experiences physical violence in school. Okay? Mas madami nakakaranas sa bahay kaysa sa paaralan. And boys, no, ang mga lalaki ay doble na mas nakakaranas ng physical violence across all settings. So, marami ang lalaki nakakaranas ng physical violence. Okay? 4 sa 5 LGBT children, ha? Imagine, no? Mas marami ang LGBT, lesbian, gay, bisexual, no? Or trans children na nakakaranas ng physical violence, no? And most common perpetrators are parents, no? Ang pinakakaraniwang gumagawa ng pang-aabuso ay ang magulang, guro, kapatid na lalaki at kapatid na babae. Okay. Psychological violence. May 3 sa 5 bata sa Pilipinas na nakakaranas ng psychological violence. Marami. No? Hindi siya bihira. Madalas na nakaka-encounter tayo. Maaring kayo, nararanasan nyo siya, pero hindi nyo nalang pinapansin kasi pangkaraniwan na. So, please be aware of it, no? The most common forms are verbal abuse, no? Sinasabihan ka ng hindi magaganda at masasakit na mga salita. And threats of abandonment, no? Tinatakot ka na iiwanan ka, tinatakot ka na papalayasin ka, and most psychological violence is experienced in child's own home and school. Yung lugar na dapat mabibigay ng safety, security, and love sa bata, yun pa yung lugar na nagbibigay sa kanya ng verbal and psychological violence. Boys and girls experience similar rates, no? Dito pantay ang lalaki at babae across all settings, bahay or school yan, lahat. With the exception of during dating where boys experience nearly twice that of girls, no? Ayan. Kapag nasa dating period na, mas maraming lalaki ang nakakaranas ng psychological violence. And 4 in 5, no? Ganun pa din. Malaki ang risk sa mga members ng LGBTQ. 4 sa 5 LGBTQ children ang nakakaranas ng psychological violence. And these are from 18 years old and below. No? Main perpetrators are still the fathers and family members. No? Tatay, kapatid na lalaki, pinsan, kapitbahay, even the neighbors, no? And dating partners, no? Are the ones who perpetrate violence. Sila yung gumagawa ng karahasan. Okay? Now, sexual violence. Isa sa 4 na bata. 1/4, no? 1/4 sa population ng mga bata ang nakakaranas ng sexual violence. Napakarami, no? Majority of incidents occur at home. No? Domestic sexual violence, no? In the community and during dating. No? Kaya mag-iingat sa pipiliing ka-date. No? Mag-iingat tayo sa ating ka-meet up, no? And even in the community, wag kailangan ninyong tandaan na hindi dapat magtiwala sa lahat ng tao, no? Children aged 13 to 17 experience the most sexual violence, including forced sex, no? As early as 13 years old hanggang 17 years old, yun yung peak, no? Yun yung common age kung saan nagkakaroon ng sexual violence, including forced, pinipilit na pakikipagtalik, no? And younger boys in the 13 to 18 age group are at high risk of sexual violence in every setting, be it sa bahay, sa school, sa trabaho, sa komunidad, no, sa barangay nyo, sa bayan nyo, and during dating. And the main perpetrators are still the father, the family members, such as brothers and cousins, no, especially during with or when a family is extended, no, sama-sama yung magpipinsan sa isang bahay, and neighbors din, no, and dating partners. And 7 in 10 perpetrators of sexual violence are males. 7 sa 10 perpetrators ay lalaki, no? So, what are the things that you must remember, no? If anybody hurts you, kung may kahit na sinong mananakit sa inyo, hindi nyo kasalanan yon, no? Huwag ninyong papaniwalaan yung sinasabi na kapag ikaw ay ni-rape, kasalanan mo kasi nagdadamit ka ng maikli. No. If someone hurts you, it's not your fault. You are a special person. You have rights. You have the right to be healthy, to study, to play, and to be safe from violence. Okay? Panindigan, pangatawanan, at protektahan ninyo ang inyong mga karapatan. Okay? So ano nga ba ang mga pwede ninyong gawin para maprotektahan ang inyong mga sarili mula sa gender-based violence? No? Una, mahalaga, know your rights. Alamin niyo ang mga karapatan nyo. Tama. No? And learn how to say no. No? Say no. Huwag matakot humindi. Huwag matakot na lumayo. No? Speak up. Malaking bagay din ang magsalita. Ano? Kapag may hindi magandang ginagawa sa inyo or may balak na hindi magandang gawin, magsumbong agad. No? Open up to your parents. Kung naman parents ang inyong ang perpetrator, magsabi sa isang taong pinagkakatiwalaan nyo na alam yung tutulungan kayo. No? Huwag magtitiwala agad. Okay? Avoid strangers. Sabi nga, stranger danger, stranger danger. Pwede kayong sumigaw kapag merong lalapit sa inyong stranger at gagawa at ramdam yung hindi naman yung kakilala, and to be safe, no, it's a defense mechanism. Sigaw ka, tulong! Ay, gano'n, no? Or stranger danger, sa US gano'n ang ginagawa or tinuturo, no? How do you protect yourself, no? Say no. You have the right to say no. Wag po, hindi, ayoko, no? To anyone who tries to touch you in a way that makes you feel uncomfortable and afraid, no? Takbo ka na agad, sigaw ka, layo, no? Wag kapag merong mag-groom sa inyo, like bibigyan ka ng ganito, sige, iyon na lang to. Uy, halika, sama ka sa akin, bibigyan ka ng to. Wag, no? Say no. Another, some secrets should never be kept, no? Sabi nga, learn to say, to keep secrets, pero ang isa sa nakikita natin na trend sa mga inaabuso, sa mga ginagawa ng hindi maganda, ay sinasabi sa kanila na, oh ha, secret natin to ha, no? The mere fact na may sikreto, ibig sabihin may hindi magandang ginagawa, no? So there are some secrets you should never keep, even if you promised not to tell. Kung may kaibigan kayo na nagsabi sa inyo at nag-open up na siya ay sinasaktan, siya ay nakakaranas ng gender-based violence o pang-aabuso, sexual maltreatment, sexual harassment, at sinabi niya, huwag mo sabihin kahit kanino, please, no? Pagka ganoon na po, it's a red flag. Humingi ng tulong, no? Mag-disclose kayo sa mapagkakatiwalaan para matulungan yung taong yon, no? Hugs and kisses are nice, no? Especially from people we like, but no one should ask you to keep a kiss, hug, or touch a secret. Like, huwag mo sabihin na hinalikan kita ha, huwag mo sabihin hinawakan kita ha, huwag mo sasabihin sa kahit kanino na ganito yung ginagawa natin, no? The grown-up may say that it is our little secret. If anyone says that to you, even if you know that person, please tell a grown-up that you trust na may ganoon nangyayari. Okay? Your body belongs to you. Walang ibang may-ari ng inyong katawan kundi ang sarili nyo. So, learn the names of your body parts and try to learn the difference between good touch and bad touch. Tandaan nyo siya. May good touch. Ano yung mga good touch? Pagka ang doktor, chine-check up ka, inilalapit yung stethoscope sa dibdib, sa likod, good touch, yon. Or halimbawa, ikaw ay nabilaukan, para matanggal, kailangan kang first aid, good touch yun. Pero ang bad touch, yun yung mga hawak, yun yung mga hipo na hindi ka komportable. Mga hipo na pakiramdam mo ay tinatanggal yung sense of security mo and safety mo. No? Learn that. Pag bad touch na yan, humingi ng tulong, lumayo. No? No one should touch you in ways or places that make you feel bad. Remember that. Huwag nyo hahayaan kayo ay hahawakan. Like yung tirante ng bra ninyo o ng baby bra nyo, hahawakan. O kaya man ay yung panty or yung briefs. O kaya man hahawakan yung private part. No. Never, ever allow that. You should also not touch anyone else in ways that will make them feel uncomfortable. No? Kung ayaw nyo hahawakan kayo, ganun din. Huwag nyo hahawakan yung iba. No? And talk to grown-ups you trust. Makipag-usap, lumapit sa mga matatanda na mapagkakatiwalaan mo, no? Whenever you are not sure, halimbawa hindi mo sure kung safe touch ba yun or good touch ba yun or bad touch, magtanong ka sa mapagkakatiwalaan mong matured person. No? Run or get away, lumayo, tumakbo, no? Get help. If a stranger, someone you know tries to harm you, please run away, get help, no? Make sure you always run towards places na safe din kayo at maraming tao. Yun lagi, no? Kapag tatakbo ka dun sa maraming tao, para maraming pwedeng tumulong sa'yo. Okay. Shout and yell. Ang turo kung saan ako, sisigaw, tulong! Or stranger, danger, ganun. Tinuturo rin namin sa mga bata, no? Sa school na to use whistle, pito, para kapag may lalapit sa inyo or may gagawa na hindi maganda or ramdam yung hindi safe yung gagawin, you just blow your whistle para maraming lalapit sa'yo na tutulong or re-respond, no? It's always right to yell and shout if someone is trying to hurt you, no? You should not feel embarrassed to yell and call for help when you are in trouble. Hindi nakakaya yun, no? Always preserve yourself, no? Ingatan ang sarili, protektahan. Do not take gifts. Yun yung grooming kasi, no? Tatanggap ka ng regalo, pera, no? Sweets, baka mamaya yung mga candy, may laman palang drugs or may lamang, may halong drugs para mahilo ka, para magawan ka ng hindi maganda. Or kinukuha yung iyong tiwala sa pamamagitan ng pagbibigay ng kung ano-ano para sumama ka or pumayag kang gawin yung mga gustong gawin, no? Do not take any sweets, money, or gifts from anyone without telling your parents or any other person who takes care of you, no? It is usually alright to take gifts from friends or family. Okay na namang tumanggap ng regalo. But even some grown-ups that you know and trust may give you gifts or money to trick you. Minsan, trick yun para sumama ka or para pumayag ka, no? Na gumawa ng bagay na hindi maganda or bagay na labag sa kalooban mo, no? And tell someone, no? Sabihin sa pagkakatiwalaang tao, kapag ikaw ay physically pinaparusahan, no? Kapag nakakaranas ka ng corporal punishment, pamamalo, pangungurot, panghahampas, pangyayabog, pangyayabat, ganon. Verbally, sexually, or naabuso ka or nabubuli ka, tell someone, no? Tell a friend, a teacher, your parents, or any other grown-up na pinagkakatiwalaan mo, no? It can be hard to open up. Mahirap magsabi. Pero it's the first way to help you go away from the danger of it, no? Or from it, okay? If you feel you can't talk about it, try to write a note. Minsan, ang hirap kasing sabihin, iiyak ka na lang magasabihin mo eh. Or parang hindi mo masasabi, napakahirap ilabas ng mga salita. Sulat ka, mag-note ka. And then, yung note na yon, ibigay mo sa nanay mo, sa tatay mo, to explain how you feel or sa mapagkakatiwalaang tao. If you find it difficult to talk to your parents about the abuse, then talk to someone you trust. No? If your mother, father, or teacher is the abuser, talk to anyone you can trust, like a grandparent, aunt, uncle, cousin, or a neighbor. How to protect yourself? Again, call a child helpline, no? Bantay Bata, no? O kaya man yung helpline sa inyong bayan, no? A child helpline is a free telephone number, walang bayad yon, that you can call to talk to someone about any problem you have. Find out, yun ang unang-una, alamin nyo yung child helpline sa inyong area. Ask a trusted grown-up. And always keep your emergency numbers in your phone or telephone o sa notebook nyo, no? Huwag ipapawala yon para in case of emergency, may matatawagan ka, no? Example, kailangan mo ng doktor, police, ayun, or teacher, number ng teacher, i-save nyo siya, no? And to protect yourself, call child helpline, call the police, no? Kung ang pinakamabilis na matawagan ng police, call them. Pag walang nasagot, do not keep it to yourself, okay? Huwag itago sa sarili, please. It is never too late to tell someone, no? It's never too late. It's better late than never, so that someone can save you and someone can help you. Okay. Learn about violence against children, no? Mahalagang may kaalaman, no? Find out more about violence against children. You can look into the internet, no? Pwede kayo mag-browse, go to a library or speak to teachers. Sa panahon ngayon, mahirap kasi ang magpunta sa library because it's pandemic, no? You're under quarantine and lockdowns, no? Granular lockdowns. So, pwedeng internet lang, no? Search sa internet para mas dumami yung kaalaman nyo regarding violence against children. No, magtanong sa teachers, sa kaibigan, and sa grown-ups na pagkakatiwalaan nyo. Helping protect others. Paano mo naman matutulungan na maprotektahan ng iba? No? Huwag itago sa sarili mo yung kaalaman. No? Share what you have learned with other children and young people. No? Sharing is caring. If you have friends who need support, help them talk to their trusted adults. Tulungan nyo sila, give them confidence para magkwento, magsabi, at maglabas ng problema sa mga trusted adults nila, or para lumapit sa mga otoridad or sa call helplines para matulungan sila. No? Do your part in also not hurting other children and young people. No? Ayaw natin mahasaktan tayo at huwag rin tayong mananakit ng iba. Yun yung part natin din doon. No? Participate in community activities related to children's rights and child protection. Dati, during the face-to-face, no, meron tayong mga awareness activities, no, campaign against gender-based violence, no. Pwede rin tayong mag-post sa ating social media kung meron kayong social media regarding that, no. At malaking bagay na protektahan nyo rin yung sarili nyo from data privacy sa pamamagitan ng pagsiscreen ng mga pinupost nyo sa social media, no? Do not and avoid posting private information of yourself to social media. No? So these are the groups, the agencies where and whom you can get support and whom you can report. No? Bantay Bata 163, ayan po yung number. Please take it down. Okay? PNP, Aling Police Hotline. Okay, ayan po yung mga number. Ano? Pwede nyo siyang isulat or screenshot. DSWD, you are from NCR. So ito yung DSWD NCR Crisis Intervention Unit. No? Pwede kayong humingi ng tulong din dyan. No? Interagency Council on Violence Against Women and Children. National Bureau of Investigation, no? NBI, VAUSI or Violence Against Women and Children Desk. Okay? Actually, ang bawat police station, merong Women and Children's desk. Pwede kayo humingi lang ng tulong doon. No? Action Hotline Against Human Trafficking, National Center for Mental Health. So, lahat yan ay pwede nyo hingan ng tulong kung saan mas nararapat kayong humingi ng tulong. So, pwede nyo siyang i-screenshot or isulat. Ayan. Next, please remember if anybody hurts you, it's not your fault. You are a special person. You have rights. You have the right to be healthy, to study, to play, and to be safe from violence. Lahat ito ay karapatan mo. Say no. Hindi. Ayoko. Huwag. No? Huwag matatakot sa mga salitang yon. Some secrets should never be kept. No? May mga sikretong kailangan mong sabihin, lalo na yung mga sikretong alam mo may masasaktan. Yung mga sikretong kapag hindi mo sinabi, may mapapahamak. Your body belongs to you. Iyo yan. It's your ownership. So, wag mong hahayaang may ibang humawak, magmanipula o gumamit. Run or get away. Yell or shout or pumito. Mag-blow ng whistle. Do not take gifts. Wag tatanggap ng regalo lalo na sa hindi mo kilala or kapag alam mong may kapalit. Tell someone. Learn about violence against children. Call a child helpline. Keep emergency number and remember, no matter what, violence is not okay. Kahit anong mangyari, kahit na sinong gumagawa, kahit sinong ginagawan, hindi tama, hindi okay ang karahasan. No? Walang exempted dyan. Okay? So, that's all. Maraming salamat.
Ayan. Let's give a virtual applause again to kay Ma'am Maris. Thank you very much, Ma'am, for sharing the different kinds of gender-based violence at kung paano namin mapoprotektahan ang aming sarili at paano namin mapoprotektahan ibang tao laban sa ganitong violence. And of course, thank you din po sa Save the Children, isang non-profit organization na naglalayong magkaroon ng bawat bata ng healthy future that they deserve sa pag-share na kanilang resource materials. At natutunan ko doon kay Ma'am Maris, napakadami ng inputs na nakuha ko kanina nung nakikinig ako sa kanya. At napaka-timely po talaga ng mga topic na meron siya kanina. At parang nagkukwento lang po siya sa atin dahil napaka-natural po kanyang mga sinasabi at totoo pong nangyayari sa totoong buhay. At ito po ay naranasan ng ating mga kabataan, lalo na po ngayon na sa pandemya natin na kinakaharap at talamak po talaga ang kahirapan sa atin. Lagi po natin tatandaan ang kanyang sinabi po kanina, know your right, learn how to say no, speak up, don't trust anybody agad-agad, learn to keep secrets, your body belongs to you. Tell someone or call a helpline. If anybody hurts you, it is not your fault. Tama na po lahat ng sinabi ni Ma'am Maris, napakaganda po. At marami po tayong natutunan doon. Thank you very much po ulit, Ma'am Maris. And next po, to introduce po our next speaker. Ito po, napakasikat po nitong tao na to. Sikat na ito sa next speaker po natin. At balita ko, marami na po itong followers sa kanyang social media account. At grabe talaga yung mga videos niya. Pupulutan po talaga natin ng aral na hindi lang po ng bata, matanda, o may ngipin o wala. Yan po. Medyo joke-joke lang po ng onte. Okay. On a serious note po, I admire the goal of the speaker. Motivational po siya, ika nga. He is a registered guidance counselor, psychology professor, had a Bachelor of Science in Psychology and Master of Arts in Education, major in counseling psychology, a guidance counselor, professor, and author, a social media influencer. Nako, siya na po talaga ang idol ko. From Pasay City West High School, let us welcome po Mr. Randy Wilson C. Delpino.
Ano nga ba ang pandemya? Ang pandemya ay isang epidemya ng nakakahawang sakit na kumakalat sa pamamagitan ng populasyon ng isang malawak na rehiyon, lupalop o pandaigdigan. COVID-19 ay isang halimbawa ng pandemya na ating nararanasan sa kasalukuyan. Ang pagharap sa kalamidad o sa pandemya ay maaring magdulot ng pagkabalisa. Normal lang po na sa atin na makaramdam tayo ng takot at pagkabalisa sa panahon ng COVID-19. Lalo na tumatagal ang krisis na to. Bukod sa pag-aalaga ng ating kalusugan, upang makaiwas sa coronavirus, mahalaga din na alagaan natin ang ating mental health habang nananatili tayo sa loob ng bahay. Ang unang episode ng ating vlog ay magbibigay kaalaman kung ano ang mental health at kung ano ang mga bagay na ginagawa natin para ma-maintain natin ang pagkakaroon ng mental health. So what is mental health? Mental health involves effective functioning in daily activities, resulting in first, having productive activities in school or at work. What does it mean, having a productive activities? This needs to involve everyone in every activities in school or at work, such as team building, such as any other group activities in school or at work. Then we need to learn new skills. We learn to improve our abilities. Then second is having a healthy relationships. How to have a healthy relationships? In having a healthy relationship, first is we need to learn how to listen. Because listening is a tool for an effective, healthy relationship. Then we need to learn how to communicate. Communicate your thoughts. Communicate your emotions. Communicate your understanding with each other. Then important is learn how to trust with each other and show respect. Make time with your family. Make time with your friends. Or even the most important is make time for yourself. Then you need to engage in healthy activities. Then the last one is the ability to adapt to change and cope with adversity. What does it mean by that? Ability to adapt to change and cope with adversity. We need to have our support system. Seek support and think positive. Learn to avoid negative thoughts because these negative thoughts becomes our stresses. Focus on what you can control. Look after your physical and your physical health and your mental health. Then find your purpose. Find your purpose of your existence. Therefore, mental health is the foundation of our emotions. The way we think, our communications, our learning, our resilience, and our self-esteem. And mental health is also a key to any relationships. Our personal relationships and our emotional well-being, and are contributing to community or society. And in this first episode of my blog, I invited two of my colleagues in Pasay City West High School and one of our students. They shared their perception on the mental health in times of this pandemic and what are their activities that they are doing this time of pandemic. Let's listen to them. Ayan mga ka-everyone, meron po akong kasama ngayon, aking kasamahang guro si Sir Alex Chavez, guro ng Pasay City West High School ng Senior High School. Tinuturuan niya po ang HUMS or Humanities and Social Sciences. Sir, may tanong ko lang po. Ano po para sa inyo ang mental health, lalong-lalo na sa panahon ng pandemya?
Para sa akin po, ang mental health, ito po ay isang uri ng it is the dimension of the person that needs to be addressed also or should be recognized first and foremost. Philosophically speaking po kasi, the human person is a composition of body and spirit. No? So, yung mental, the term mental or the mind, falls under the umbrella of the soul. Kasi yun yung may capacity, no? According to Plato. Kasi yun yung dalawang ng tao, no? The body, the spirit, and the mind. No? So, for me, lalo-lalo na ngayon na pandemic, maraming mga routines, mga habits, activities tayo na ginagawa before, freely, without constraint, na ngayon, na natin na hindi na natin na nagagawa. Siguro for me, number one, awareness. Kailangan maging aware ka na you have this aspect of your person, which is the mental, your mind, na kailangan mong i-take good care also, the way you take good care of your body. If you are taking vitamins, minerals to your body, ganun din sa isipan natin. Feed mo yung isip mo ng mga positive thoughts, ng mga magagandang it's your choice kasi, no? Yun po. Yun lang yung tatlong what I can say about mental health during this pandemic. And I hope you learned something.
Yung importance ng mental health sa panahon ngayon is ma-identify natin yung nararamdaman natin sa isang sitwasyon. So for example, may takot ka kasi doon sa pupuntahan mong lugar ay kunwari, dahil COVID yung sitwasyon natin ngayon, pandemic, ay may nag-positive. So, makakatulong sa'yo na i-assess mo yung sarili mo kung kaya mo bang pumunta doon kahit face mask ka, naka-face shield ka. So, identify mo yung sarili mo. Kasi kung hindi ka komportable, wala kang assurance, huwag ka nang tumuloy. At kung continuously, para sa akin, nararamdaman mo na hindi maganda yung feeling mo, I think pwede kang kumatok or maghanap ng taong makakatulong sa'yo, yung mga professionals, like for example, kung ikaw yung estudyante, pwede sa guidance counselor natin sa school, pwede sa teacher, sa advisor, yun. So, pwede yun. So, importante yung mental health natin, lalo na sa panahon ngayon. Kailangan natin siyang alagaan just to feel comfortable, lalo na pag nasa bahay lang tayo, na alam naman natin na hindi ganun kadali na magstay sa bahay. Yan. So, the same as physical health, pangalagaan din natin yung ating mental health.
I am Ezekiel G. Buhain, former young student of Pasay City West High School. I graduated last 2020. Yes, we are the batch nga, first ever, na nag-held ng graduation virtually. So yun nga, na naimbitahan ako ng ating guidance counselor sa Pasay City West Senior High School program na si Sir Delpino about sa mental health issue na to. So, ayun nga, ang tanong niya lang sa akin, dalawa lang naman. Ano ba bilang estudyante, ano ba ang mental health for me? At ano yung mga activities ko para ma-maintain ko yung mental health or yung mental being na meron ako ngayon. So, ang pagkakalam po sa mental health, ito yung state of our minds, kumbaga emotionally, psychologically well-being natin bilang isang individual. Yung judgment natin, perspective natin bilang isang individual kung sa mga nararanasan natin or nakikita natin sa ating mga paligid. Ayun yung pagkakaalam ko sa mental health. Ngayon naman yung mga activities ko para ma-maintain ko yung mental health ko. Yung activities ko naman ngayon is ayun nga. Activities ko, gawaing bahay. Nanonood ako, nagbabasa. Tapos, naglalaro. Ayun. Kasi nga, right now, yung mental health, isang malaking issue talaga ngayong pandemic dahil nga, tumarami ang kaso ng anxiety, depression, even yung iba, suicide attempt dahil nga sa problema na kinakaharap natin. Sino ba naman magsasabing normal itong nangyayari na to? Diba? Kaya ayun.
So how we now promote mental health? We promote mental health first is by creating environment that promote and sustain positive mental health for everyone. We create friendly environment that everyone is enjoying and comfortable with each other. Second, by creating activities and intervention that are designed to enhance protective factors and minimize risk factors. Then lastly is, schools are ideal setting in which to promote mental health for every child and youth. Remember that the life of a child was spent in school. Schools are basic foundation of child's mental health through their socialization and interaction with each other. These programs of the schools based on mental health promotion increases the mental well-being of every student. It enhances regulation of emotions. It enhances coping and problem-solving skills, and enhance empathy and respect for diversity, and decrease bullying and aggression. So this is mental health in this pandemic situation, and this is mental health in schools. So that's it, everyone. On my second episode, we will be continuing our topic on how to promote mental health. And on my second episode, I will be showing you the different activities on the next topic on self-care. Because self-care is one of the most important things that we need to learn on how to promote mental health. or it's how to start loving yourself. So please, again, I am asking you to share and subscribe my YouTube channel. And thank you everyone for your support. I'll see you on the next episode.
Ayun. Thank you very much po, Mr. Randy. Napaka-informative po talaga ng inyong mga videos po talaga. Isa po ako sa mga subscriber po ni Sir Randy. At napakahusay po talaga ni Sir Randy at hanga po kami sa dedication at passion mo po, sir, sa lalo na po sa mga programa na nagsusulong ng mental health. At isa lang po sa mga nakuha ko kanina, sa topic po ninyo kanina, is yung having a healthy relationship, matututo tayo makinig at makipag-communicate po sa ating kapwa. And make time for with our family and friends at higit sa lahat sa ating sarili. Ability to adapt to change and cope with adversity. Learn to avoid negative thoughts. Tulad nga po ng yung isang guest kanina na teacher, kilala ko rin po siya. Kailangan ang body na po natin ay composed of body and soul. So if we feed our body with vitamins, foods, and lots of kailangan po ng ating katawan para lumakas, ganoon din po ang ating isipan. Dapat po natin siyang mag-isip po tayo ng mga positive thoughts para din po maiwasan po natin yung anxiety sa mga depression. Thank you very much po ulit, Sir Randy. O yan. Salamat po sa ating dalawang napakahusay po na speaker for today. Sabi nga po ng ating Medical Officer 3, si Doc Reg, kahapon, it is our hope and our plea that everybody will use this information and tools that we have come up in reaching out our targets clients, our dear adolescents. Tulungan natin silang ma-develop at ma-improve ang kanilang abilities na magkaroon ng informed choices tungkol sa kanilang reproductive health. By this time, we will play po the teasers of Adolescent Reproductive Health Part 2. At lahat po na pre-recorded videos na ito ay pwede po natin gamitin at pwedeng gamitin po ng ating mga school poker person ng ARH para po makapag-localize po sila ng webinar series sa kanilang kanila pong schools. At ito po yung mga topic na pwede po nating masama po natin sa ating webinar series. Ang healthy relationship, sex and sexuality, cyber safety, teenage pregnancy, health leadership, life and family planning. At yung link po ng Google Drive na makukuha niyo po yung mga materials na to ay nasa ating screen na po. Pwede niyo po siya ma-download at wala pong bayad dyan, wala pong restriction at pwede niyo po silang magamit. And also yung mga infographics materials din po na ating mga schools, pwede po natin magamit yun sa ating pag-conduct na ating webinar series sa ating mga schools. And here's the video of the teasers lang po ng Adolescent Reproductive Health Materials Episode 2 po.
Welcome to the Adolescent Health Webinar Series where we talk about various concerns of the young and young at heart. So this is how it goes. We have our hosts who are energetic and curious students coming from different schools to ask some of their questions that are not usually talked about. We have invited expert guests to give light to these queries and share their learned lessons from life. The show will run for about an hour to really clarify thoughts and misconceptions on the topics, capture lessons to be shared by our guests, and hopefully guide everyone to have a healthy and fun life.
Feel free to ask questions so that we can answer them. Don't be shy.
We encourage everyone watching via their phones or computers, whenever you are in the country, to be part of the discussion by sharing your thoughts through the comment box. And for the next few weeks, let us enjoy learning in the comfort of our own homes and with the virtual presence of our friends. Stay safe and healthy.
The COVID-19 pandemic has brought unprecedented changes to our usual ways of living. But the Department of Education remains unfazed by these challenges to fulfill the mission of Sulong Edu Kalidad, the rallying call for national effort to deliver quality basic education to all Filipinos, which involve aggressive reforms in the 4 key areas: the K-12 curriculum review and update, improving the learning environment, teachers upskilling and reskilling, and engagement of stakeholders for support and collaboration to move forward together as we prepare the education system for the future. The call for Sulong Edu Kalidad will continue, and we have built the framework of the Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan, or the BELCP, to put the needs of the learners at top priority. DepEd's BELCP is the major response and commitment to protect the health, safety, and well-being of learners, teachers, and personnel. The plan aims to provide opportunities to continue education even in these trying times with a BELCP in place, supported by an unprecedented number of diverse stakeholders from the academe, media, groups, NGOs, business and private individuals. Sulong Edu Kalidad will be able to sustain the aims in its reform for quality basic education. In our journey towards quality education, we have established the 4 pillars of aggressive reforms from the start, and we have been continuing to progress in these pillars. In improving the learning environment, we took action in the construction and rehabilitation of school buildings, ensured the availability of learning materials and equipment, and prioritized our last mile schools. The challenges of the pandemic also brought to light the urgent need to upgrade our ICT infrastructure to service the needs of education. In terms of the teachers upskilling and reskilling, we were able to establish more innovative professional standards for teachers and school heads. We have aligned the professional development of teachers with their career progression to track their development as part of the National Educators Academy of the Philippines transformation. With the launch of the Education Futures program, where we will be focusing on innovative actions and solutions to improve the state of our education, we are now more than ready to start a new journey and continue our fight for quality education for all Filipino learners. Finally, we've given high importance to the engagement of stakeholders for support and collaboration. In support of this, we have convened the Philippine Forum for Accessible Quality Basic Education, or the Education Forum, which will leverage other partnerships for education quality and strengthen partnership with the Philippine Normal University as the country's national center for teacher education. The department has also been developing a professional development program for teachers and school leaders in order to equip them with the skills, materials, and data that will allow them to help their students prepare for PISA 2022. This intervention consists of the following components: online training for teachers and school leaders, development of learning materials and practice tests for students, deepening the analysis of the PISA 2018 results, and supporting school-level action research. Now that the year is about to end, our commitment to Sulong Edukalidad will continue and will be far from being gone. With a lot at stake, considering our new knowledge and experience from this year's challenges, we are equipped to face a new future. As we head on to the future where we will face many challenges and uncertainties, the department will always be the guardian of every Filipino learner's right to education.
We will be your hosts for today. I am Zarina D. Servando from Bansud National High School, Regional Science High School for Mimaropa, from the Division of Oriental Mindoro, Mimaropa Region.
And I am Dato Hisham Kapina from Mama Sapano National High School, the region of Barm and the division of Maguindanaoan. We hope that everyone is safe and healthy in their own homes, and we hope that you are ready for a deep and interesting discussion this afternoon. Zarina, napanood mo bang episode last week about #RealRelationship Goals?
No, and I applaud the DepEd and our youth for taking on this sabi nyo nga, difficult and sensitive topic head-on because it's very timely at dapat talaga siyang pag-usapan. Hindi pa pwedeng hush-hush lang and hindi natin naiintindihan, blind leading the blind. Kailangan ng actual na usapan.
Ito naman, nai-influence dito kung paano ang mga taong nakikita nila yung sarili nila, okay? Or how the people see each other, kung paano sila mag-act, mag-interact, and may distribution ng power and resources in the society. So yun yung gender. Kumbaga sa gender identity and expression, pasagian ko na lang din, may personal sense of identifying oneself. Now, yung sexuality naman, so we have shared the sex, gender, yung sexuality naman, ito naman yung sexual feelings, thoughts, attractions, and behaviors towards other people. Kaya naman, makikita natin, di ba, yung mga tao minsan or tayo, we find others physically, we are attracted to other people physically, di ba, sa mga husbands and wives, sexually or emotionally, di ba? And the thing is, sexuality is more than soul or human, but there is a deeper sense also, or deeper explanation or definition about sexuality. So diverse and personal yung sexuality. Important ito kasi it is part of who you are. It is part of who we are. So yeah, that's how I can share my thoughts about these three words. I think Dr. Lau is already on.
Ay, sorry naputol ako, okay? Dugtungan ko yung sinabi ni Ma'am Ces and dagdagan ko yung sinabi ko. Now, I mentioned about sex earlier, no? Now we go to gender. Gender has two components, gender identity and gender expression. No? Gender identity refers to how a person feels and how the person identifies himself or herself. Kung sa sex ang basihan ay biology, bali-ari at chromosomes, sa gender identity naman yung pakiramdam ng tao ang nagsasabi kung ano siya. Pakiramdam ba niya siya ay lalaki, babae, or magkahalo? Minsan ang mga taong magkahalo ang pakiramdam ay tinatawag ng mga taga-LGBT community. Doon tayo masanay na terminolohiya. Kung ang iba, magkahalo ang pakiramdam, yung iba naman, walang nararamdaman at all. O kumbaga walang pakialam kung ano ang kaasal. Second component of gender is gender expression. This refers gender identity to others through their name, use of pronoun, clothing, hairstyles, mannerisms, activities, and hobbies. Paano ba sila kumilos? Higasin ba? Macho ba? O mahinhin ba? Malambot ba? O magkahalo? Para sa iba, medyo nakakalito na siguro ito. Marami kasi sa atin ang konsepto ng sex ay dalawang klase lamang. Ang gender sa iba ay dalawang klase lamang. Pero ang realidad, hindi lamang dadalawa. Ang importante nating isaisip dito ay ang mga tao ay iba-iba. At kahit iba man ang katangian o pakiramdam o kilos ng isang tao kaysa sa iyong mga nakasanayan, hindi ibig sabihin nito na siya ay mali. Ang importante ay hindi siya nakakapanakit ng kapwa at hindi siya lumalabag sa batas at nakakapagbahagi siya ng silbi at kabutihan sa lipunan. This brings us to the word sexuality. Kasi sabi mo kanina, gender, sex, sexuality. For sexuality, this talks about how we experience our sexual feelings and how we act upon these sexual feelings. How we relate to other people based on our sexual thoughts, urges, and feelings. What is key here is our sense of responsibility and respect for others. What is important is that when we act on our feelings, our behavior does not violate the rights and feelings of others. In summary, sex is based on biology, gender is based on the person's feelings with consideration of constructs of society, while sexuality is how a person experiences sexual feelings and how the person behaves feelings. Tama ba o mali? Well, walang tama, walang mali. Nakasanayan lang ayon sa sabi ng lipunan. Sa madaling salita, dapat mag-ingat sa mga gender stereotypes kasi ang mga istriktong pagsunod dito ay maaaring makalimita sa development ng tao at ang hindi pagsang-ayon dito ay hindi nangangahulugang mali.
So, kaya hindi tayo dapat mag-judge kasi kung ang isang lalaki, no, ay kumikilos na parang malambot o kaya hindi ibig sabihin nito na ililabel na kagad natin and vice versa. It's the same thing with female. Kasi nakubog din tayo ng mga experiences natin in life. And we don't know what happened to others, no? Sa mga tao sa paligid natin, di ba? Could it be that the experiences in life, in childhood nila, hindi ganun ka-smooth, just what like others, di ba? Maraming hurts, maraming pains, trauma. So, these things also has something to do with the way a person is being molded.
Welcome to the Adolescent Health Series. I am Ate Aliyah from SDO Vegan City, your host for today.
And now, we'll be talking about menstrual health. Am I right, partner?
Don't panic, it's organic. It's normal for girls to have or pagdadaanan ng menstruation. And first and foremost, again, sinabi ko na it is a normal process na ina-undergo ng isang babae na nagdadalaga. So, first and foremost, our schools have stocked their napkins in different areas. Meron yan sa clinic, sa ating guidance office, or pwede kang humingi ng napkin sa inyong teacher, sa iyong mga co-classmates. And after which, if you are still in class, you can be excused and accompanied by your classmates na pupunta sa CR or sa clinic. Tapos, once you are able to freshen up, or the napkin is already in place, go to your usual routine or activities kasi it's not an hindrance for you to be active in school. And paminsan-minsan, always just check if you need to change the pad. And sa mga boys naman, lagi nating tandaan na wag nating kutsain ng ating mga classmates for having their menstrual period. But you need to offer help in any ways or means to make this situation a little less uncomfy for them.
It can be as short as 2 days. It can be as long as 7 days. Pero pag more than 1 week na, siguro that girl should ask for help, no? Should seek consultation.
Lang, nakakatandang babae sa pamilya or mga kaibigan, guro, nurse or doktor para mabigyan ka ng sapat na kaalaman sa mental health. Sabi nga nila, ang pagiging cool sa mata ng iba ay isang bonus points, pero ang pagkakaroon ng respeto sa babae, lalo na sa kanilang pinagdadaanan, ay higit na plus points sa bahay, eskwelahan at komunidad.
PMS or premenstrual syndrome. Pag sinabi nating syndrome, we refer to a combination of symptoms, no? And in the specific case of premenstrual syndrome, combination yan ng emotional and physical symptoms. Pag sa isang pamilya ay merong may PCOS na na-diagnose na may PCOS, minsan pag isang member ng family ay ma-experience din yung irregular period, then isa yun sa isususpect natin, no? Naku, baka may PCOS din. Kasi pwedeng it runs, no, sa genes ng pamilya.
Masaya mag-gaming, nakaka-entertain at nakaka-connect with friends. Pero ang games, minsan hindi laro na lang, nagiging gaming addiction. Tam-tam-tam-tam! Presenting Dalira Eskwela, a school to teach kids paano maging safe sa internet.
Hi, I'm Tom. Gaming is life.
Nagko-computer ka na naman?
Sandali na lang po.
Sandali na lang, alas 4 na ng umaga. At sandali na lang, exam mo na!
Pag games na ang kumokontrol sa buhay natin, pag ayaw mo nang kumain, matulog, mag-aral, makipag-usap sa ibang tao, at pag ang allowance ay inuubos para lang makapaglaro, online gaming addiction na to. Baka game over ang maraming aspeto ng buhay mo. So mga bata, ano ang dapat gawin? Maglaan ng tamang oras sa paglaro. Halimbawa, 1 oras pag may school at 3 oras pag weekends. Bago mag-games, study first. At tulungan muna si mommy at daddy sa gawaing bahay. Tandaan kids, ikaw ang dapat kumokontrol, hindi ang games. Sa Dalira Eskwela, learn how to be cyber safe. Wait! Hindi pa game over ang lesson natin. Mayroon tayong munting pagsusulit so that we can all be cyber safe. Mag-thumbs up if you feel tama ang reaksyon. At thumbs down if mali ang ginawa. Masaya mag-games dahil entertaining to and it allows us to have fun with friends. Okay lang hindi matulog, basta masaya nag-games. Okay lang gastusin lahat ng allowance on games. Set a time on how long to play games. Mag-aral at tumulong sa bahay bago mag-games. High five sa mga nakakuha ng tamang sagot! Turuan ng mga daliri na kontrolin ang paglalaro ng online games so you can be cyber safe. Bye!
Bye!
Tum 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 Tum! Presenting Daliri Eskwela, a school to teach kids
Kakul na daliri.
Nanginginig! Pag nag-post ng hubad na picture, pwede itong maging viral at makita ng lahat ng tao. Kasama na ang parents mo, teacher mo, friends mo.
lihim sa magulang pag may nagyayaya sa'yo na maghubad sa internet. Pag nararamdaman na may maling gawain, huwag na ipagpatuloy ito.
Oh, magandang hapon sa inyong lahat. So welcome to another episode of Adolescent Health Series. I am Wilfredo Vivanova Jr. from Region 5 Bicol, Division of Tabaco City.
I am Abigail Maguada from the National Capital Region, Division of Taguig City and Pateros. Good afternoon, everyone.
And hello, isang magandang pagbati mula sa rehiyon ng Ilocos. Ako si Angelo Tampos from SDO La Union and we are your hosts for today.
Alam nyo ba, grabe yung pagkawindang ko sa biglang change ng mode of learning natin. Kasi kung dati, gigising ako para pumunta sa school, pumasok sa school, bumiyahe. Ngayon, gigising naman ako para humarap sa laptop, sa gadgets.
What are the most common cybersecurity threats that we should be aware of?
Ang mga mga personal information ninyo, usually ito yung ginagamit para ma-hack yung mga ninyo, lalo na kung meron kayong mga financial accounts, mga bank accounts. Ito yung ginagamit nila para ma-hack yung mga accounts ninyo.
Kaya ang social media isa sa mga paraan na very interesting. And look at the design, look at the interface used. Very interesting siya hindi lamang sa mga kabataan kundi para sa mga tao na nasa mature age na. Maraming tao ang gustong-gusto sa kanilang social media dahil ito ay created para maging interesting sa atin.
It's really a matter of preference. So ako usually hindi ako nagbibigay ng exact na sinasabi na ito lang yung i-follow nyo or etc. Pero what I usually do is I provide insights to teens kung ano yung mga criteria na pwede nilang i-consider kung meron silang i-follow na isang influencer o meron silang i-consume na content. So ito yung mga bagay na yun. So number one, dapat tanungin natin yung ating mga sarili, ano yung makukuha ko kapag finalo ko tong page na to or content developer na to or influencer na to. Kasi maraming information, very useful information na available ngayon sa social media. So hindi tulad nung araw na syempre limited yung access sa information ngayon. Information is in the tips of our fingers via the internet and social media. And thus kailangan i-consider, okay, pag ko siya, may makukuha ba akong useful information? Let's maximize that. Number two, yung sa mga fina-follow natin na content developers or influencers, sila ba ay nakaka-harm ng ibang tao? Nakaka-infringe ba sila sa rights ng ibang tao? Negative ba yung messaging nila? Kasi as much as possible, we don't want to support content developers like that. Kasi
first and foremost, if you are a victim of cyberbullying, ang unang reaction mo dapat kung ikaw ang binubully, tell the bully to stop. So stop. Usually they stop. And then if it continues, tell your parents, tell the school administration. Kasi ang
kundi kailangan ng family support. Kasi pag ang isang kabataan, isang teen ay ito na yung estado, kailangan yung buong family ay nagtutulong-tulong upang madala yung kabataan na yun towards non-addiction, yung healthy usage.
good afternoon everyone and welcome once again sa panibagong episode ng Adolescent Health Series. Ayan.
May agat panapon po kekongan. Good afternoon to all the participants, viewers, students, teachers, or parents man na nanonood po sa atin ngayon sa FB Live here in DepEd Philippines.
Para mabigyan natin ng pagkakataon na mag-mature ang kanilang executive function or decision-making function. So isa yan. No? Pangalawa pa siguro sa biological factor ay mapapansin ninyo need ng mga teenagers na mag-guide in terms of decision making by providing opportunities where they can actually decide for themselves no matter how simple this decision is para sa mga bagay na malalaki kaya nilang mag-decide on their own, no?
And minsan just to be accepted ay nag-ano tayo, no, nagpapasway tayo sa mga peer pressure. Kung ano yung ginagawa ng barkada natin, yun yung minsan ginagawa rin natin just to be accepted. Ano? Merong mga feeling na gano'n. Lalo na kung yung family nila ay hindi accepting. No? Pagdating mo sa bahay ay hindi ka pinapakinggan, wala kang nakakausap doon. At ibang-iba yung mga konteksto noon, no? Yung mga rason kung bakit nagkakaroon ng maagang pagbubuntis noong kapanahunan or 20 years ago kaysa sa ngayon, no? Because
healthy ka ngayon, masaya ka, productive ka, at ma-maximize mo yung potential mo ngayon. Kinabukasan mo, ikaw ay isang magiging magandang ehemplo na adult na may power or may kayang mag-provide sa pamilya, lalo na pag adult ka. Kasi adult ka kasi
malam kada kayo amin. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Young as we are po, sir, why is it important for us to plan for life?
Paano naman po maging epektibo yung pagpaplano namin in terms of short-term and long-term goals, including our careers po? #life goals. That's right. And today we are invited some experts to shed light on our questions.
Kung kayo ay ipapanganak muli, ano yung bagay na gusto nyong baguhin at ayusin? Yung murang edad, murang isip, ay may prepare ng maayos para alam kung ano yung mga expectations at makapagplano ng mas maayos na buhay, mas healthy na buhay, at mas meaningful.
Kasi kung hindi mo ipaplano yung pamilya mo, baka hindi mo din maibigay yung tamang pangangailangan para mabuhay ng komportable at maging responsibilidad na tao kapag dating ng panahon. Malaking papel ng DepEd, no, sa mga teachers at magulang at sa komunidad para hubugin ka papunta dun sa pangarap mo.
Alam nyo, napakahalaga talaga na pinaplano natin ang bawat yugto ng ating buhay. Kasi ang buhay ay isang malaking paglalakbay na nangangailangan ng paghahanda at pagpaplano.
Nice to join you today, Cyber, as we talk about another important topic, which is community health leadership.
Siguradong marami tayong mapupulot na notes mula dito.
No? Yung measurement ng leadership is not your leadership position, pero kung ilang tao yung na-impluwensyahan mo, ilan yung sumama doon sa cause at advocacy na you fight for. Mentors hindi lang din dapat mas matanda sa atin. Minsan kasing edaran natin, minsan mas bata pa sa atin actually.
Pag buo ka, all parts are interconnected. May certain sense of peace. That's why we can be, a peace giver. Ano may kaya mo rin magbigay nitong naramdaman. And if every students are being prepared, estudyante pa lang sila, to take on the big pressures and challenges outside, could we imagine the impact that they could do?
Sabi nga na United Nations, 25% ng population natin ang mga kabataan. But definitely, we are 100% of the future. Na dapat, bago mo ma-push forward yung advocacy mo, dapat you have to be healthy yourself. No? Kasi health is the core of every person.
Alright, we're back again. At ulitin lang po natin na lahat po na materials na inyong nakita at napanood kanina ay makukuha nyo po or download nyo po sa ating Google Drive at ang link po ay nasa ating screen. Maaari nyo po siya makuha para makapag-localize po kayo ng webinar sa inyong bawat schools. And at this juncture, to wrap up things for today, we have always the energetic, positive-minded Medical Officer 3 of our division, the kind-hearted woman of School Health Section. Walang iba po kundi si Dr. Maria Rochelle Enriquez Reyes for her closing remarks of this program. Take it away, Doc.
Good day, everyone. Much has been said about adolescent reproductive health as one of the flagship program of OK sa DepEd throughout the series. The SDO Pasay truly recognizes the importance of such program in the lives of our students, hence this webinar. We all hope that all of us enjoy the process of learning, and may our love and dedication to our sworn oath prompt us to be more efficient in our service. It is our hope and our plea that everybody use this information and tools that we have come up with in reaching our target clients, our dear adolescents. Let us help them develop and hone their abilities to have informed choices pertaining to their own reproductive health. In behalf of our Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Loretta B. Torrecampo, our OIC Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Arturo A. Tolentino, our CID Chief, Mr. Librado F. Torres, and our ARH Technical Working Committee, let me say thank you for staying with us and thank you for actively participating in this worthwhile endeavor. Good day.
Before we end, we would like to thank and acknowledge the full support given by the SDO Pasay to let us come up with the ARH webinar series. Headed by our Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Loretta B. Torrecampo, our Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Arturo A. Tolentino, our Chief Education Program Supervisor of Curriculum Implementation Division, Mr. Librado F. Torres, my SGOD family, the PSDS, and to all the APS, our Legal Officer 3, Attorney Jean Litoskin, our Information Technology Officer, Mr. Eric D. Comia, and our Medical Officer 3, Dr. Maria Rachel Enriquez Reyes, and the SDO nurses, Division and School Focal Person of ARH, to all the speakers mula day 1 hanggang day 2, and our school principals, teachers, students, and parents. Thank you very much po sa inyong lahat. Muli, nagpapasalamat po kami sa pagsubaybay nyo sa amin sa dalawang araw. And this has been your host for today. I am Leonard A. Laureta, Project Development Officer 1, Division Youth Formation Coordinator. Much love and God bless po sa inyong lahat.
Okay, Oplan kalusugan sa DepEd. Halina't alamin atin ang tuklasin, mga health programs ating palaganapin. Tara na okay, Oplan kalusugan sa DepEd. Halina't alamin atin ang tuklasin, mga health programs ating palaganapin. School-based feeding program pagtibayin, wastong pagkain ating ihahain, mga batang kulang sa timbang, ating pakakainin ng Go, Grow, and Glow. Adolescent Reproductive Health ay gawing gabay at patnubay ng batang mausisa ay di maranasan. Ang early pregnancy ay maiiwasan. Kalusugan ay mahalaga sa edukasyon ng mga bata. Tayo na't magkaisa, halina tayo'y sumama. Tara na okay, Oplan kalusugan sa DepEd. Halina't alamin atin ang tuklasin, mga health programs ating palaganapin. Tara na okay, Oplan kalusugan sa DepEd. Halina't alamin atin ang tuklasin, mga health programs ating palaganapin. National Drug Education Program or NDE kung tawagin. Ito'y paigtingin, mga bisyo'y alisin, sigarilyo at droga'y dapat nang puksain. water sanitation and hygiene in schools. Ating kompletuhin, 3 stars ay abutin. Malinis na tubig, segregated na toilet, group hand washing at may napkin na rin. Kalusugan ay mahalaga sa edukasyon ng mga bata. Tayo na't magkaisa, halina tayo sumama. Tara na okay na okay, Oplan kalusugan sa DepEd. Halina't alamin atin ang tuklasin, mga health programs ating palaganapin. Tara na okay na okay, Oplan kalusugan sa DepEd. Halina't alamin atin ang tuklasin, mga health programs ating palaganapin. Medical, dental, and nursing services na atin ding binibigay upang matugunan problemang pangkalusugan ng mga guro at kabataan. Kalusugan ay mahalaga sa edukasyon ng mga bata. Tayo na't magkaisa, halina tayo sumama. Tara na okay, Oplan kalusugan sa DepEd. Halina't alamin atin ang tuklasin, mga health programs ating palaganapin. Tara na okay, Oplan kalusugan sa DepEd. Halina't alamin atin ang tuklasin, mga health programs ating palaganapin. Tara na okay, Oplan kalusugan sa DepEd. Halina't alamin atin ang tuklasin, mga health programs ating palaganapin. Okay talaga sa DepEd. Okay talaga sa DepEd. Tara na okay, Oplan kalusugan sa DepEd. Halina't alamin atin ang tuklasin, mga health programs ating palaganapin. Tara na okay, Oplan kalusugan sa DepEd. Halina't alamin atin ang tuklasin, mga health programs ating palaganapin. Tara na okay, Oplan kalusugan sa DepEd. Halina't alamin atin ang tuklasin, mga health programs ating palaganapin. Okay talaga sa DepEd. Okay talaga sa DepEd.